Like, I kind of think that we all can get these messages and we all have this knowledge and we're all programmed for success, but there's so much noise covering it
Yes,
up that
yes.
some people never get in touch with it. Some people only realize it this much. And I feel like it's
Yeah.
a process of unraveling or unpeeling the onion to get to what was innately already there.
It is an unpeeling, and it's also a clearing because we are always connected to our higher selves and to the divine. It's like we're here on this earth, and it's like if you picture a cable or a light cord going up to that higher self, who's connected to everything, who's connected to God and all the other beings up there. Now, we are directly connected, so then when we're in our human bodies, it's like, well, why can't I just get what I need from my higher self all the time? The reason is because just like radio waves on a cloudy day, that information, that knowing, that knowledge can't make it through the filter of our mind. Our mind is either a thick, dirty filter, or it's, just kind of dirty, or it's like warped, or whatever it is. Our mind is in the way, and our whole job is just to clear out those things in the mind because everybody's got the same access, you're right, to that higher knowing, to that information. There's absolutely nothing special about me or anybody else that does this other than the discovering divinely the ability. The more easily you can ask for help and the more easily you can kind of get out of your mind, the more quickly you can tap into those gifts.
Once we realize our mind is not who we are,
Right.
then that we don't have to listen to what our mind tells us to. As a matter of fact, our mind is just our ego constantly talking and interfering. So there was something I read on your website which I loved. You were talking about being a coach, and it kind of was your mission, and it was to empower people to align energetically thoughts, words, and actions for a higher
Yeah.
purpose. And I'm coming to realize that the answer or the secret is sort of a crossroads between psychology and spirituality and religion and science. They're all coming at it from different angles, but basically the reprogramming, the aligning, and it's all the same thing.
And whether you think of it as your higher self or your inner knowing or your inner child or however you think about it, it doesn't matter because what you are talking about is that pure um, unadulterated, just unfiltered essence that knows all, that is within us. We all have that omniscient, just that knowing within us. And it's like you said, just peeling away what's in the way, and the alignment is very important. And it's getting into that flow with the universe, with the greater power, where you realize, oh wow, I'm this being with all these amazing intricacies that make me me, and the divine, that however you think of it, that energy can only express through me this exact way. So I'm an instrument, like a paintbrush that's being used to create this masterpiece that is what's created through me.
Whether I'm talking about Reiki or crystals or essential oils or tarot, I like I'd like for people who know nothing about tarot to be able to watch this and sort of
Yeah.
get an idea. So like let's pretend we're doing an idiot's guide to tarot.
A little mini tarot class. So it's really, I love this opportunity because many people do attach the word tarot to black magic or voodoo or whatever, and it, or something ancient or something that's going to tell you bad's going to happen to you because there's a card that says death and all kinds of things. And it's none of these things. The history may have included people using them in ways that weren't, in alignment with the greatest good. But the way it works now and the way it's intended to work is that these beautifully intricate symbols that have just been developed over time to represent every possible aspect of life and the human journey. But now tarot is one of those beautiful ways that in my case, my guides can send me certain messages through them because every time I get a card, it's like a cue card. They say, okay, we're talking about this area. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I feel into that area with you in very specific ways that go way beyond the card. Everything I've learned about tarot, I've learned directly from my guides.
Wow.
And directly, I have never taken a class. I have never read a book. It is all 100% from the guides and from me experiencing my own readings and receiving those and watching those. So it is completely organic. It's like Nell out in the woods. I'm just like swaying in the wind with the tarot. So I do not have book knowledge about it. And by the way, I just want to touch on, because I did oracle cards. There's an oracle card for every type of conceivable thing you like or are drawn to, and anyone can read those without any preparation, because they do have a little book with them, and they have very clear messages with each one. And those are really fun ways, and I recommend for anybody who wants to get started with tarot, not to start with tarot, but to start with oracle cards, because many oracle decks kind of coincide with tarot, so you get to learn in a very simple and organic way, and then move into that.
So it's a gateway. You've heard of gateway drugs. It's a gateway deck, basically.
Definitely gateway, for sure. So one minute I was sitting on the bathroom floor doing that. How are you doing this? And then doing it for myself and receiving guidance for myself. And then I would just be among people. In my case, it was like play dates with my toddler and other moms. And I would have a feeling, and I would say something to them, and the tingles would come. And I would go, do you mind? I've been like playing with these cards. Can I pull some for you? And they would be like, sure, okay. And when you are clear of intention, and you're like, I'm feeling stuff coming through, I want to pass it along, your guides will connect you to people who are going to foster that. As long as it's not coming from an ego place of like, I want to
show you, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a reader, and I want to be superior, and I want to do this. Spirit's going to connect you to people. So my guides connected me to confirming person after confirming person, supportive person after supportive person, and then slowly worked me into like, here's what happens if a person's resistant to hearing a message, or here's what happens if somebody is judgy. And it was like going through kindergarten, and my guides were my teacher, just showing me what to do, putting these people in front of me, putting these situations in front of me. And now, like 3.5 years later, have put you in front of me to talk about it, and have put every client that has happened, and has made this my full-time career, and this is now my full-time job.
Wow, that's crazy.
On YouTube, it's India Leigh, which is Leigh, and there you can see the readings for your zodiac sign every month, and you can get a feel for whether they resonate for you or not, whether this type of reading resonates for you. And then my website is indialeigh.com, and there you'll find the private bookings. So thank you. I would just say, for anybody who wants to follow their soul purpose, no matter what it is, whether it's doing readings or just whatever it is that calls to you, that you're like, this is my soul calling. I want to do art for children. I want to do this, and you don't know how to make that work as a job. I never would have, as a writer and editor who had worked for publications for years and years, never would have gone, how do I sit down and become a psychic reader and coach professionally, and do that for a job, and have it be profitable, and have it be abundant. That's part of that shift out of the mind. It's not going to work that way. Your mind's not going to calculate how to make your soul purpose successful.
And this is where I'm stuck right now, because I am so used to making things happen and making them work, and I'm getting frustrated. I haven't been working full time in over a year, and how is this going to happen? And part of me is just like, let go, it's going to figure itself out. But the ego part of me is just like, you got to do something. You're going to, so that was very reassuring to hear that.
This is so divine. I'm really glad we could share this with people, but this is for you, because this is incredibly, I want you to know, like, all your guides made all this happen. Again, the other stuff is nice, people it's going to reach, but this is for you, because this is your guides going, okay, you're ready. You said you're ready. You are ready. Let's go.
Subscribe to the blog, amaximizedlife.com, on Instagram, a.maximize.life, on Twitter, amaximizedlife, and on YouTube, amaximizedlife. 2 X's. Talk to you soon.